All right, today we're going to dive into something pretty incredible, a powerful tool for making sense of, well, pretty much everything. It's been called a GPS for consciousness, and this is your introduction to the AQAL Integral Map. So, have you ever wondered about this? It's a classic, right? You meet someone who is an absolute genius in their field, just brilliant, but they seem to have zero emotional intelligence. Or maybe you've had one of those profound, peak spiritual experiences, and then 10 minutes later, you're losing your mind at someone in traffic. These aren't just weird quirks of life. They actually point to something really deep about how we work. Well, the reason this stuff feels so confusing is that most of us are trying to navigate the incredible complexity of our lives with really incomplete maps. It's like you're trying to find your way through a massive, sprawling city, but your map only shows a couple of main streets. You're bound to feel lost and confused. So the answer isn't to just, try harder with the same old maps. The solution is to get a better one. And that's exactly what the AQAL framework is. It's a meta map, a map that includes all the other maps. It was developed by the philosopher Ken Wilber, and he calls it AQAL. Now that's an acronym for all quadrants, all levels, lines, states, and types. It's basically a comprehensive GPS for our potential, designed to help us navigate both our inner world and the world out there with way more clarity. Okay, so here's the game plan. We're going to start with the 4 fundamental views of reality. Then we'll look at the colors of growth. Think of this as our altitude. We'll add a few more details to our dashboard, and then most importantly, we'll see how you can actually put this GPS to use in your day-to-day life. All right, let's kick things off with the absolute foundation of the integral map, the 4 quadrants. Seriously, if you get this, you're halfway there to seeing the whole picture. Okay, so here's the big idea, the core insight. Any single thing that happens, anything, can be looked at from 4 basic perspectives. And here's the kicker. They are all true, all at the same time. This is huge, because most arguments, from your family dinner table to global politics, happen because people are basically camped out in their own little corner of the map, shouting that their view is the only one that's true. If you want to solve any complex problem, you have to take all 4 perspectives into account. First up, we've got the upper left. Think of this as the I space. This is your personal, subjective, inner world. Your thoughts, your feelings, your sensations. No one else can get in there. It's yours and yours alone. So if we use the example of joy, this quadrant is the actual feeling of joy. Simple as that. Okay, now let's swing over to the upper right. This is the it space. This is everything a scientist in a lab coat could measure about you from the outside. It's your physical body, your brain, your actions. So that feeling of joy on the inside, it has a very real correlate on the outside, like dopamine flooding your brain. A neuroscientist can see it on a brain scan. Both the feeling and the brain scan are totally real. Then we drop down to the lower left, which is the we space. This is the world of shared culture, of relationships, of shared meaning. See, your feeling of joy doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's shaped by the culture you're in. Is joy something you express loudly with friends, or is it a quiet, personal moment? That shared understanding is the we quadrant at play. And rounding it all out, we've got the lower right, the ITS quadrant. These are the systems and structures we all live in. The economy, our laws, our technology, the environment. How do you share that joy? Maybe you post it on social media, or you go buy a gift. Those platforms, those economic systems, those are the real tangible ITS that shape our lives. And remember, for anything that happens, all 4 of these are happening right now. Okay, so we've got the 4 directions on our GPS, right? Now let's talk about altitude. This shows us how our perspectives, our worldviews, literally grow and get more complex over time. This system is often known as spiral dynamics, and it uses these cool colors to map out these different altitudes of consciousness. We tend to start from an egocentric place, like red, which is all about me and my power. Then we can grow into an ethnocentric view, like blue, which is focused on my group, my truth, my tradition. From there, we might expand to a world-centric perspective, like orange's focus on individual success for everyone, and green's focus on sensitivity and care for all. And beyond that, you get the integral stages, which can actually see and value the entire journey. Okay, I need to stop here for a second, because this is probably the most important thing to get about this part. This is not a ranking of who is a better person. Someone operating from, say, green isn't a better human being than someone at blue. Not at all. Every single one of these stages is essential. They all solved crucial problems for humanity at the time. This is about complexity, not about worth.
All right, we've got our 4 directions, we've got our altitude. Let's add a couple more features to our dashboard to really fine-tune this thing.
First up, and this is a total game changer, is understanding the difference between states and stages. A state is a temporary experience. Think of a fleeting moment of peace or a sudden flash of insight. Anyone, at any stage, can have a state experience. A stage, however, is a permanent home base you've grown into. The best analogy is this. A state is like visiting a beautiful city for the weekend. A stage is when you actually sell your house and move there. Next up are what we call lines of development. And this right here finally answers that question we started with about the brilliant but emotionally clueless person. The reality is, none of us grow evenly across the board. We have all these different intelligences, cognitive, emotional, spiritual, interpersonal, and they can all be at different altitudes. So yeah, you can be a world-class scientist with a PhD, but have the emotional maturity of a teenager. It's not weird. It's actually completely normal. And last but not least, we've got types. Think of these as the different flavors that we all have. This includes things like personality types or masculine and feminine energy. The key here is that they're horizontal, not vertical. It's simple. Chocolate isn't higher or better than vanilla. They're just different, and both are great.
Okay, so this is all really fascinating theory, right? But what do you do with it? How does this GPS actually help you navigate your real life? Let's get practical.
Well, for your own growth, you can literally look at the map and ask, hey, which of my lines have I been neglecting? In your relationships, it creates so much compassion when you realize your partner isn't just trying to be difficult. They might be seeing the world from a completely different level or focusing on a different quadrant. And in politics, oh man, you realize that most debates aren't even about the facts. They're clashes of values between different levels. And for leaders, this is gold. A great leader knows how to speak to and validate every level and address every quadrant. But here's the thing, and this is maybe the wisest part of the whole integral approach. You have to remember that the map is not the territory. This amazing, detailed framework is a guide. It's a tool to help us understand reality, but it isn't reality itself. We can't get so obsessed with the map that we forget to actually experience the beautiful, messy territory of life. So you see, this map isn't about putting you or anyone else in a box. It's the exact opposite. It's a tool for liberation. It frees you up to see perspectives you couldn't see before. It allows you to hold multiple, even competing, truths at the same time. It helps you see the world and yourself more completely. So I'll just leave you with this one question to chew on. As you look at this whole map, the 4 quadrants, the levels of growth, all of it, what part of the map, what part of your own reality have you been ignoring?